Welcome to the Safety, Health and Environmental Contributions for March 2025. This is a short presentation that is available for all the university community and relates to the well-being of all. Let's dive into this month's topics. In these presentations, we're going to be tackling a safety aspect, a health aspect, and an environmental aspect. In this month's safety aspect, we look at fire safety. The health aspect is TB awareness or tuberculosis, and the environmental aspect relates to deforestation. In our surroundings, a big issue is fire safety. This essential element requires for a fire to ignite and sustain. It consists of three components: heat. This is an energy source that rises from material that its ignition temperature. Without sufficient heat, a fire cannot start or continue. Fuel. This is a combustible material that can burn, such as wood, paper, gasoline, or natural gas. This fuel provides the substance that the fire consumes. Oxygen. This is an oxidizing agent that supports the chemical reaction of combustion. In most cases, this is the oxygen in the air, but other oxidizers can also support combustion. For a fire to occur, all three elements must be present. Removing any one of these elements will extinguish the fire. The concept is crucial in fire prevention and firefighting strategies. And yet, when I travel in the bush on holidays, sitting under the stars, there's nothing better than to be sitting around the campfire, which is a controlled fire, watching the flames jump. It's absolutely magical. When we are at work, there are steps that should be followed during an evacuation because of a fire. Remain calm and stop what you are doing. Alert others without placing yourself at risk. Close the doors and windows when leaving a room. Remember, this is only in connection with the fire. Other emergencies have other protocols. Do not return to fetch anything. If roots are smoke filled, then crouch low and if possible, use something over your mouth. If that something is wet, then it also helps because you're breathing in little bits of particles of, you remember, water's made out of H2O, and the O stands for oxygen, 2 parts hydrogen, 1 part oxygen. Assist visitors, persons with disabilities, and disorientated persons. Do not use the lifts or elevators, but the nearest escape staircase. Briskly follow the evacuation routes or the stairs to the safest assembly point outside the building. Listen to the instructions provided by the evacuation coordinators. TB, tuberculosis. There are various initiatives throughout the world, including TB Day, which is celebrated on the 24th of March. The reason for this day is to promote, educate, and eradicate TB throughout the world. During this month, people are encouraged to learn more about TB and encourage others who may be suffering from symptoms to seek medical advice and, where necessary, treatment. This year's theme, Unite to End Tuberculosis, by emphasizing prevention, early diagnosis, and treatment. Tuberculosis is a bacterial infection which usually affects the lungs and can be fatal if left untreated. It is one of the deadliest diseases, and approximately 1.7 billion people are affected, representing 1/3 of the population throughout the world. TB is a serious infectious disease that primarily affects the lungs, as I've mentioned, but it can also have impacts on other areas of the body. Persistent coughing, lasting more than 3 weeks. Coughing up blood or phlegm with the coming from deep inside the lungs. Chest pains, especially when breathing or coughing. Fever, often low grade but persistent. Night sweats, excessive night sweating during the night. Weight loss, unintentional and significant. Loss of appetite, reduced desire to eat. Fatigue, persistent tiredness and weakness. These are the symptoms. Now, having a look what other part of the body it can affect. TB can also affect the spine, causing back injuries, and may even affect the kidneys and cause blood in the urine. If you suspect that you or somebody else may have TB, it is important to seek medical advice and promptly get a diagnosis and treatment. There are different types of TB, which you can actually go in and have a look through your search engine to make sure. But the other big thing is we must make sure that we're not spreading this to other people, like when we're working in indoors areas with poor quality circulation. It is not spread by shaking hands or sharing food or sharing drinks, touching bed linen, etc. Okay, but there are times when tuberculosis may cause exposure to other people. So we need to make sure it's very similar to COVID and what we've been through. To make sure that we wear a mask if we're actually suffering from it, because it's from the spittle that we actually, or sneezing and things like that, that actually come out of our mouths when we are talking or when we're sneezing. So what is deforestation? Deforestation is intentionally clearing or thinning of forests by humans to make land available for other uses, such as agriculture, grazing, or urban development. This process has a significant environmental impact, including habitat loss. It leads to the destruction of habitats and can result in the loss of biodiversity and the extinction of plants and animal species. Climate change. Trees absorb carbon dioxide during photosynthesis. When forests are cleared, the carbon stored in the trees is released back into the atmosphere, contributing to global warming. Soil erosion. Without tree roots to have anchors in the soil, deforesting areas are more prone to erosion, which can lead to further environmental degradation. Displacement of indigenous communities. Many indigenous people rely on the forest for their livelihoods and their cultural practices. Deforestation can displace these communities and disrupt their way of life. Efforts to combat deforestation, including reforestation, sustainable forest practices, and policies aimed at the protecting of existing forests. We can play a significant role in combating deforestation through various actions. Support sustainable products. Choose products that are certified as sustainable, such as those that are with the Forest Steward Council. There's a label, okay, on your food and packaging to ensure that wood, paper, and other forest products you buy came from a responsible, managed forests. Reduce, reuse, and recycle. Minimize waste by reducing consumption, reusing items, and recycling materials. This helps decrease the demand for new raw materials, including those sourced from forests. Plant trees. Participate in tree planting activities in your area or start your own. Trees help restore degraded areas, improving air quality and provide habitat for wildlife. Educate and advocate. Raise awareness about the importance of the forests and the impact on deforestation. Advocate for policies and practices that protect forests and support reforestation efforts. Support conservation organizations. Donate or volunteer your time with these organizations dedicated to forest conservation and reforestation. Reduce your meat consumption. Wild stock farming is a major driver of deforestation, especially in tropical regions. Reduce your meat intake can help lower the demand for land conversion. Use digital alternatives. Opt for digital documentation and communication instead of paper wherever possible. This reduces the need for paper products and helps conserve forests. By taking these steps, individuals can contribute to the global effect to combat deforestation and promote more sustainable future. In summary, fire safety. Know how to escape if a fire should occur. Know the procedures for that area. Only fight a fire if it is safe to do so and if you are trained. Otherwise, evacuate. Tuberculosis or TB awareness. If symptoms exist, seek medical attention. Deforestation. Plant a tree and watch the ecosystem thrive. If you have any questions, queries, or challenges, contact OHS&E Management or contact your OHS&E officer assigned to your area. Remember to stay safe, healthy, and environmentally aware of what's happening around you, and look after yourself and others.